gang, gang. Gang, gang, gang. World. See, we out here. We twirl. Gang, 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 gang. See, we got the all-star number. Right. You know what I'm saying? You got to play up to that level. Cash up. 22 G's, baby. Growth and development. Mhm. So, right now. Hello, hello, hello. It is I, your fiduciary fam, aka Alonzo Horder, all-star advisor. I'm here spitting that growth and development. You just heard my boy 22 G's with the Cash App. Anybody from around the way who know me when I was a youngin' out here kicking up dust, my name was 2 G's. My young boys out in Brooklyn took this shit and ran with it on that show gang. We got that show on that woo shit with the Pop Smoke and the Gangster Disciples. So if you don't know, Crips and Gangster Disciples in New York are beefing with each other. Everywhere else, Crips and Gangster Disciples still rock. They got the A-Boy Nation. If y'all don't know, that's the C and the Pitchfork combined, which makes it 8, or the 8-Ball Nation. So you'll see the Crips and the Gangster Disciples pulling together. But I actually wanted to spit some tales from the hood and some hood news today because it's just some craziness going on. You know what I'm saying? We got what used to be the unitedness of these gangs, right? Growth and development, Gangster Disciples, right? King Larry Hoover said he'd rather walk down the street with a suit and tie and a briefcase than a pair of jeans sagging with a gun. But see, y'all niggas lost them principles. See, what y'all did was y'all got this selfless BS and nobody actually pulls together. See, when we started Crips and Bloods, blood was brotherly love overcoming oppressive destruction. Crips was community revolution in progress. When the baby Crips started with Raymond Washington, not Tookie Williams, but Raymond Washington was out there fighting the early gangs, the boss men and shit. You know what it was about? It was about policing our black neighborhoods and keeping white gangs like the businessmen, the boss men, and the KKK out of our hood from kicking our asses. Today, it's about nigga, you stepped on my Jordan, so I gotta shoot you. That's bullshit. And on some real shit, y'all young niggas ain't even no gangsters. Cause on some real shit, just like baby boy Jody, yeah, you hard with that blicky. But when Ving Rhames or OG like myself come choke the shit out you, you ain't got nothing to say. Right? Um, Real quick, I'm about to do something. Salute to my man Zero. He had a whole broadcast last night of something that I asked. He said, what's it like to be a bitch ass nigga? That was this nigga's whole stream. And I asked for y'all niggas in the YouTube street to look out for me for these, being a bitch ass nigga. And this man did an entire like 14-hour stream. I don't know if he was speaking to me, but he definitely caught my attention I'm about to do it right now just because I'm not gonna hide my issue. But my man really put what's it like to be a BAN as his title. So salute the U Zero because you've been out in these YouTube streets, and as soon as you get there, dudes get triggered. You know what I'm saying? That shit wild. But you know, it is what it is. So I'm gonna go ahead and do this BAN stuff. But it's wild. So I'm actually gonna see if I could do some wild stuff because I got some actually people out here. Give me 1 second. Ladies. Let me see something. I got some ladies out here. I'm gonna ask them something. Gang, gang, gang. I hear y'all having good discussions. Don't worry, I ain't gonna put you on I, I ain't gonna put you on camera, but I need some topics. And I hear y'all talking about real life current events, right? So y'all are black women in the streets now. Y'all are realistically y'all deal with black men. So I want to ask y'all a question, right? What's your opinion on the status of black men today? I don't understand the question. Okay, in terms of no, this yeah, that's on me, baby. Don't worry. I'll keep y'all anonymous. Look up already. Don't worry, I ain't gonna put y'all on. All right. So, well, financially we suck, but um, as far as society, right? Like a lot of black women will say black women aren't protected by black men. I believe that, but unfortunately, I think people are thinking too small when they say they're not protected. See, what they're talking about is generally physical protection. If somebody comes out here and whoops somebody's ass, da 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 da. That's not what I'm talking about. In terms of protection, what I'm talking about is, for example, in 2017, 31,000 Sikh men entered into the trucking force, right? So now that creates a shift of an industry. Meanwhile, someone like myself who's self-employed, been selling real estate, life insurance, and all these things for over a decade, when I talk to these young boys talking gang, 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 right? They out here selling drugs or whatever. And I'm like, all right, well, gang, 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 nigga, I'm self-employed. I work on 100% commission just like you. So if you don't sell that pack of dope, yeah. Mm, okay. Right. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I like that. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate that. All right, y'all. Yeah, I just heard serious, like y'all was talking about serious stuff, and I was like, y'all ain't got nothing to talk about. Let me ask them if they can get me with a topic. Uh, So you think we should, as men, collectively come together and correct ourselves? Mhm. I like that. I like that. So y'all heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. The ladies think, because what happens is you got a lot of dudes who run around and be like, yeah, mm, right, hmm, right. Mm, mm. Hmm. How you doing? Hmm. Gang, gang, gang. Y'all heard it here first. So, like we said, like I've been saying, fellas, we got to self-improve, right? Now, these two women, black women, beautiful black ladies, I'm not gonna put them on camera, but they were out here having a substantial conversation this morning. So as I'm talking to them, I'm throwing this away. So watch, peep game. I'm gonna crush this, break it, boom, boom, done. Drink me some orange juice, right? But she just said, for men, there's a lot of pressure put on us, and there needs to be. As men, we need to put this pressure on ourselves. But we just heard from two beautiful black women, hey, here's what I think. I don't really want to crush your psyche, your mentality, anything. You've got these challenges as a man. So here's what we want you to do. We want y'all to go correct yourself. Feel that what you've improved. Self reflect. See what's what. And then once you've corrected yourself, you can come back to us, and any gripes that we have, we can actually work out. But at the end of the day, both sides have worked on ourselves. And as the men, because in society, like I said, at the end of the day, men run stuff. So what do we have to do? We have to correct ourselves. Don't worry, Snuggles, I didn't litter. I got it right here. What's going on? Yeah, the 8 ball. That's Crips and GDs united. So, but what I really think is important is us actually coming together. Like I said, the 8 ball was about unity, right? So all these gangs and everything were really about uniting and coming together and improvement. And now it's been changed and it's perverted, and it's this craziness, and it's just, oh, I got to compete with this guy and I'm going to blast this guy and I'm the most gangster and da 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 da. And it really shouldn't be that way. And we really got to start coming together, right? Back together like we used to, right? Because when we had that unity, that united front, and we called each other blood, right? Because see, when Crips started in the early 60s, it was a civil rights movement. So the word blood was not representing a gang. Blood was because we had the same type of blood running through our veins, warrior spirits, because of what we went through from transatlantic slavery, from going through the civil rights, actually building ourselves up. So we had that blood of warriors in each other. That's why we called each other blood, right? That's what blood is about. It's about brotherly love, overcoming oppression and discrimination. You know what I'm saying? Crippin is about community revolution and progress. So what we're supposed to do is, either way, we're supposed to be a united front, right? Red, white, and blue are the colors on the flag of the United States of America, right? So when I was in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, rocking my flag, I shouldn't have been shot by 4 other black dudes who was rocking their flag, who was wearing 2 colors of the separate spectrum, right? Why am I getting shot by another black man because I wear one color and he wears the other? At the end of the day, we both black men. You know what happens in that situation? I basically, one person dies, the other person goes to jail. Now, if we're talking about being men, and the fact that a woman can only look through the crack and a man has to look through the whole door, what the fuck are you doing getting yourself sent to prison? Well, you're not looking through the entire picture, because you're doing something to get yourself taken away from your family when you're supposed to be out here hustling and grinding and doing what you got to do to support and provide for your family, right? You think the mafia, you think they went out there and put themselves in stupid positions to be taken from their families? Nah, right? I got a clip that I was watching on DJ Vlad from TK Kirkland, who's 60 something years old. I sit here and I talk to y'all young cats about life insurance all the time. TK Kirkland was like, yo, y'all need to prepare for this life. And you know, TK Kirkland created Jesus, so y'all need to listen to TK Kirkland. TK Kirkland on Vlad TV told y'all need to get some life insurance. Now, the real shit is, it's not just some life insurance. Y'all got to get the proper life insurance. I already told y'all, white people buy less life insurance than black people, but they buy it correctly. Again, the financial experts say you should have at least 7 years of your expenses. I tell you 20 years. The average person who makes 50,000 needs $1 million policy. $1 million is only 50,000 over 20 years. I've been working for more than 20 years, and I'm not even 40, right? If you work at minimum wage making $10,000 a year, you're still making 100,000 over the course of 10 years. So let's realize, y'all, we gotta be right and exact in what it is that we do, right? And part of that is our unity coming together. Another part of that is correcting ourselves, right? Because man, it's frustrating to hear these dudes upset about women, but then when it comes time to, matter of fact, one of my favorite content creators, you know what I'm saying, Angry Man, was talking last night, and he was like, yo, I don't understand how you dudes don't want the economic. Like, y'all complain about, yo, we ain't in a position, you know, to do shit. We don't got shit. But then when somebody comes talk to you about money, oh, I mean, you know, you can't have money. It don't matter how much money you have. It's not going to change shit. And then he said, like he said, Jay-Z got to a point where he was talking to Warren Buffett and everybody was like, oh, he's only talking to Warren Buffett's only talking to Jay-Z because he got money. Yes, that's how you get power. You don't hear anybody from the Asian community running out talking about, we got to vote. How the fuck they get a hate crime bill passed? Because they have money and power. Money is power. They had enough money to go, hey, politician, we put money on the table. Do what we want. Meanwhile, we're sitting here, kumbaya, we shall overcome one day. Got over black power bullshit. And we're not getting ourselves the results that we want. And a huge aspect of that is the economics. Now, here's another issue that I'm finding. When we're looking at economics, we always, as a collective, seem to fall for the okie doke. Right now, the okie doke is the stock market and Bitcoin and all these cryptocurrencies. Now, I'm not saying not to invest in those, but y'all are getting too freaking happy. I agree with everything you say with how people did have access to get capital. If you don't mind me asking, and I'm talking about other immigrants. So yeah, other immigrants have access to capital through a multitude of things. Now, one of those is they do have a home nation. So, for example, when you have a home nation, you are going to have the ability to have funds sent to you. For example, nobody who's African American really has connections with, like, you know, an African nation who's wealthy. I'll give you an example. In 2013, while I was doing fix and flip real estate, I was at lunch with a colleague of mine, and she was from the DRC, Democratic Republic of Congo. So I asked her, I'm like, wow, how do you like America? You know, I'm sure it's different being from Africa, living in mud huts. And she goes, whoa, whoa, whoa. Nigga, I'm a princess. My daddy used to fly Gianni Versace to my house to customize his clothes. My servants drive better cars than you niggas out here. And I was like, oh, okay, I'm sorry. What's going on, boss? You know? And I realized, wow, maybe what the problem is here in America, we're very much isolated like North Korea, so we have no clue about what's really going on in the rest of the world. So the rest of the world does have access to capital because they have some sort of a support system. But what they also do is they come here and they realize, okay, I can't cry kumbaya to the politician. I have to actually do something. What makes this country special is because there is not actually a caste system. If you go to other countries, there's a caste system. If your father was a poor person, you're going to be a poor person. If your family was a poor people or in certain field, that's what you are going to be. If your father was a sharecropper, you are a sharecropper. Your son's going to be a sharecropper. His son's going to be a sharecropper. If you are an aristocrat, your son's going to be aristocrat, and so on and so forth. Now, yo, what's good, bro? Chilling. About to open up? All right. No doubt. So what you're looking at is here, we don't have that caste system. If you put in the work, you can become whatever it is that you want to in this country. And what happens is in the African American community, we've gotten complacent, right? I always talk to people about I'm like anti-welfare, and there's an argument, well, there's more white people on it than on public assistance than blacks. Absolutely true. And I'll explain it to you like this. If I go to the park right now and I take out breadcrumbs to feed the ducks, and squirrels come and eat those breadcrumbs, I'm not going to stop feeding the ducks, but my intention was to feed the ducks, not the squirrels. Now it's summertime. As I'm feeding the ducks all summer, the squirrels are eating too, but they're not gathering their nuts and being sufficient for themselves, aka black people. Now, winter comes along. The ducks have flown south for the winter and they've gotten fat and they've gotten what they need. The squirrels haven't, aka the black people. Now I'm still throwing the breadcrumbs. Well, now it's winter and the birds are gone. Well, the squirrels still want this breadcrumb. So the squirrels say, hey, excuse me, can you throw the breadcrumbs? Sure. But it's winter. You guys haven't gathered your nuts, so you don't have the fat that you need to survive for the winter. So you need me to throw the breadcrumbs at this point, aka you're dependent on welfare or, these subsidies. Now, I make decisions. Well, squirrels, it's the winter time, and if you'd like me to continue giving you these free breadcrumbs, I'm going to need you to shave all of your colony's fur so that I can have a fur coat to be warm this winter. Okay, sir, we're going to shave ourselves off. Well, now you're colder because you don't even have your fur, let alone the fat. And I keep spreading those breadcrumbs to you. Well, that's the way that works. But if we can just do simple things like purchase the right amount of life insurance, because we guarantee we're going to die. Somebody last night was like, oh, make sure you know your best chance at creating generational wealth, get AMC stock. And I'm like, why would you chance generational wealth versus absolutely unequivocally guarantee generational wealth? Oh, by the way, life insurance pays dividends. It's attached to the stock market, etc. So, again, let's see what she's saying here. But to your argument, the people you want to come together have no way of getting resources. A matter of fact, resources have been constantly stripped. So I think the problem is policy. I have to disagree with you, Snuggles. The problem isn't policy. I mean, there is policy, but when you're talking about us coming together as resources, statistics show that you're absolutely wrong. We spent more money last year on fucking luxury vehicles and BMWs and Mercedes Benzes and fancy Louis Vuitton clothes and all this bullshit. If you take African Americans, our spending power, we have more spending power than 9 complete nations in this planet. We'd be the 9th richest nation on the planet. So in terms of lack of access to capital, that's booty chatter. That's pure bullshit. You don't think I have this $300 fucking Tom Brady jersey on for no reason? You know how many dudes I see walk I got that new jersey. Yeah, boy, I'm fly. Get some life insurance. Make sure you pass some money down to your kids. I don't want that shit. Pow, pow, pow. He's dead. Oh, he was so positive. I got to get a $10,000 GoFundMe for his funeral. You could have spent $20 and guaranteed $1 million. When I sit and I talk to these dudes, oh, why don't you put $100 a month into an IRA, an individual retirement account? Nah, that sounds like something for somebody with a job. What's going on, brother? Meanwhile, they're wearing a Ferragamo belt or a Gucci belt. So it's not access to capital, it's prioritizing the wrong things. Don't get me wrong, I absolutely want you to buy your Gucci belts. I got a Gucci belt. I want you to buy your Jordans. I got some Jordans. But it's about the way that we go about it. And as a collective, there's not enough of us doing the right thing. So as a collective, now don't get me wrong, there are outliers. You know what I mean? There's lots of outliers. And I think as an issue, we do focus too much on the mess ups, if you will, versus the productive people. Like I said, my cousin right here owns this barbershop, right? All-star lineup. You know, that's why I'm your all-star advisor, right? But in this barbershop, it took him a lot of work. Do you know what he had to do? He had to do this himself. He had to pull himself from the ground up. He had to do things like when he opened his first location, he didn't have a car. You know what he would do? He would get up at 6 o'clock in the morning, ride the bus from one side of town all the way to where his location was to get there by 8 o'clock in the morning. At 8 o'clock in the morning, he stayed there from 8 a.m. till 8 p.m. working hard hours all day, right? 8 p.m. he gets out, he rides the bus all the way back to the other side of town. It's an hour bus ride every day, right? Why did he do this? Because he realized, yo, I can be a pillar in the community as this barbershop. I can actually be a location where people from the hood can come, they can come chill, they can talk, we can express our feelings, especially as Black men. That's where we express our feelings. That's what the Manosphere ended up being, was an online digital barbershop. So you hear a lot of points and you hear a lot of things that end up being people's barbershop conversations. And it's disturbing to people because they haven't been able to actually get an inside look of this before, but now they finally do. But y'all, I've been going for almost a half hour. I wasn't even really intending on this. I was just really gonna play some 22 G's, you know, some of that what's the name music? Some of that show music, you know. We got, you know, that whole beef with the Cho and the Wu. Cho being Gangsta Disciples, Wu being Crips and Bloods combined. But at the end of the day, nice. But at the end of the day, we have a responsibility to ourselves. And we're going to have to start becoming more selfish. How you doing? And when I say selfish, I mean selfish in a selfless manner, right? We aren't a monolith, and we will not remain a monolith. Okay? So I want y'all to recall this. Wipe ass, work in progress every day and see success. Work in progress every day and see success, right? Work in progress every day and see success. Wipe ass. And I also want you to remember, when people challenge you, they don't challenge you to challenge you, but they challenge you to challenge you. I want you to accept the challenge. And I'm actually going to put out another challenge, right? It's not going to be the ice bucket or the ALS, but I want to put out the responsible man challenge. Everybody who watches this live or on the replay from the clouds, specifically the men, I'm going to challenge you to the responsibility challenge. I want you to take a photo or a video of you doing something as a responsible man. Whether it be taking your kids out to do whatever, get haircuts, taking them to the have fun. That's family man stuff. But I want you to do responsible stuff. So I want to see you going to pay a bill. I want to see you taking your kids to school. I want to see you do something that shows that you're a responsible family man. Because at the end of the day, that's what most men want. Most men don't want to be out here running the streets. Most men don't want to be out here being players. Most men want to hold down the fort with their family. Let me tell you like this, man. I got homeboys who used to run the streets, hard body run the streets, right? But now we're encroaching 40. I'll call them dudes, yo, what's good? Let's da 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 da. Nah, man, I'm chilling with the kids. I'm chilling with the wife and kids. I ain't going out there. Are you serious? Nah, that's on you. I got a family, homeboy. Only way I'm putting myself at risk is if it's about that family. The family I created. The family I love. Yeah, you my boy. We gang from back in the day. We used to cut up. I used to ride till I died. But bro, you 40 now. So that ride till we die stuff, you better ride till you die for your family. So that's going to be my challenge. I want the responsible man challenge, and I want to see y'all out there doing something positive and responsible, right? Whatever that is, just post it. Responsible man challenge. Click. Pay the bill. Click. Taught my kid something. Click. Taught another kid something. If you don't have kids, mentor the kid. Click. Played basketball with some young kids who was just out there and there was no parental supervision. So I, as the man, came and stood out there and was like, yo, I remember when I was your age. And yeah, we would just be there not doing nothing. But because there was no parental supervision, we would get into mischief. Go breaking into the building, something. Right? So let's do that responsible man challenge. Because I think that will help us in terms of coming together, in terms of building ourselves up, in terms of doing what it is that we need to do to correct ourselves, to get right and exact. Salute, sir. Thank you for your service. It's just a military person. I always salute the military. Why? Because I ain't going to go out there and fight these wars. So if there's a guy who's willing to put his life on the line so that I can have my $7 lattes and BMWs, I appreciate it. Right? But like I said, y'all, damn, I've been going for 30 minutes now. I didn't intend to, but sometimes you get passionate about this stuff. So again, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to remember to wipe ass, work in progress every day and see success. Wipe ass, work in progress every day and see success. Wipe ass, work in progress every day and see success. And remember, when people challenge you, they don't challenge you to challenge you, but they challenge you to challenge you. Accept the challenge. Salute. Gang, gang, gang.
Remember, wipe ass work in progress every day and see success. And when people challenge you, they don't challenge you to challenge you, but they challenge you to challenge you. I want you to accept the challenge. Remember, when people challenge you, they do not challenge you to challenge you, but they challenge you to challenge you. Accept the challenge. Salute. And shout out to my Latin kings. And more rey.